Hey guys, how are you guys doing this afternoon? I just want to do a quick episode here for my viewers out there. I hope you viewers are having a great day. Anyway, guys, something has happened. Something serious has happened with when it comes to affordability for people to afford to live, and well, I'm here in Florida, so I'm going to tell you what's happening here in the U.S. on this episode. But I'm sure if you're in Europe, if you're in Australia, or if you're in Africa, and wherever you're at listening to my episode, I'm sure you can relate. South America, because the price of stuff is just getting out of control. Um, I'm watching some videos and I'm seeing people. I'm reading these articles and I'm seeing people what people are going through, and it's there is no way, folks. There is no way this can continue for what I'm seeing. It's not possible. What I see coming for basically society is just a complete destruction of society. There is no way people can afford this cost of living. So I start looking. No, first and foremost, guys, I'm using what's happening here in the eastern part of the world. Again, if you're in the West watching my episode, it could be happening to you. I don't know how bad you're being affected by it. If you're in South America, I don't know how bad you're suffering from this when it comes to inflation. So really and truly, this episode is going to be geared mostly about the cost of living, inflation, and there is no way the regular folks can afford this. Now I look at the increase of for the past 5 years since moment right when they introduced Rona. You don't want to talk about COVID. You want to call it COVID, whatever. Now I look at the price of bread. Bread increases by 55%. The price of coffee was 45%. The price of gas was like 42%. The price of rent was 37%. What else? Going out, eating out at restaurant increases by, I think, close to 50%. The average increase for everything went up 50%. It did. Which is out of control. You're talking about the necessities of life went up 50%. There are things that actually went up even more expensive than 50%. Now, one of the reasons, guys, listen up carefully, and I'm sure they have this everywhere where you live on this planet. They have what is called minimum wage. The point of a minimum wage is so that you could work and afford life necessity. We talk about somewhere you could live, food you can eat, pay your bills, the necessity, water, so you don't die. At the rate we're going, it's not possible to work one job and afford the necessities. It's not possible at all. You got to do several things. Actually, an article I read, and I thought it was interesting, where it says actually in the U.S. you have to, for you to live and stay above your bills, working one job, you got to work 14 months a year. There's no 14 months in a year. There's only 12. So what I take from that article is that you have to have multiple sources of income. It doesn't matter where you live. In the projects, nice neighbor, it doesn't matter. Everyone is feeling this. Even the folks in the big homes. Income, because their property taxes are going up. These people drive nice cars, so their insurances are going up. Car payments are going up. Price of goods went up, so when they use their credit card, their monthly bills are going up. Bigger the house, the bigger the utility bill, especially your electric bill. Now, this is what a lot of people don't know. And if you guys are watching this video, I'm just going to give you guys some heads up here. The bigger the house, the more money you're going to pay on your electric bill. It doesn't matter how much you're trying to save money. It's not possible. Now, what I've learned, the only way you can actually save money is to actually turn whatever side of the house you don't use, you just turn off the breaker. If you don't use once that you turn off the breaker to that side of the house, because even though the lights are not on, the electricity is running through the wire. The more bigger the house, the more wire in the house, so the more the electricity will run through the wire, so the more electricity you'll burn. The only way around that, what I've learned, is turn off the breaker for that side of the house, so the electricity don't run through that circuit. Turn off that entire circuit. These are the things people need to know. But question, how many people know that? It's a good question, right? Not a lot of people know that. So guys, I'm watching these videos and I'm seeing the suffering people are going through, and people with degrees coming out of college. I'm listening to their stories. There was this lady, I think her debt was over 100,000. She's laid off. She got kids. She got a mortgage. She don't know when she's going to start working. But luckily she's married, so her husband is basically taking most of the weight right now. But how long can they survive? According to her in the video, if she don't get a job soon, they're literally on the verge of losing everything. And another question, how many people are on the verge of losing everything? Because according to what I'm seeing going on right now, especially with AI, and this is something I talk about all the time in my episode, a lot of people are going to lose their job. And guys, I'm not here to be negative. I'm just putting a lens on what I see happening. Another article I read where it says US students now don't see the need of having a 4-year degree. Now, a question I ask myself, do you blame him? It's a good question, right? Because what's the point of putting yourself in debt when that piece of paper can't even give you job security? But you got to go in debt to get a piece of paper with no security. Now, the next question people need to ask themselves, especially these young kids, what they're doing, they're now starting to ask themselves, is this worth it? What I see coming, folks, it's not pretty. If I could give anyone any suggestion, one of the main thing people could do to stay ahead, first and foremost, stay away from debt. That's the first thing you should do. Try to be as debt free as you possibly can. That's going to help huge. And it doesn't matter where you're at on this planet. If you're smothered with debt, there's no way you're going to make it, because the system is not designed for you to make it when you're in those situations. Next thing, try to create something of value or a service of value and solve a problem. Solve people's problem. Fall in love with being of service to people. Create a product of value or a service of value and be of service to people. And make sure the product you create solve a problem. There's one industry I know for a fact that will never go anywhere. AI cannot really get rid of it. It's food. I don't know how you could tap into that field, but if you could actually get into that field, get into that field. It's one of the best job security you could possibly have. You know why? Because everyone got to eat. But what I see happening, what I see unfolding, and what I see coming, people are not ready for this. They're not. This is going to bring a lot of crime. I hate to go there, but I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible in this episode. Due to the fact that when they lose their job and they get desperate and they get hungry, one of the most dangerous person you could actually meet in life is a hungry person. A hungry person. Because at that point, nothing matters to them. That's a very dangerous person. And a lot of people are going hungry right now. Some people, the only way they can save money is to actually don't eat. Don't eat certain food. Stop eating this amount of food per day. That could be a good thing for some people. They have to skip meals. Not the fact that they want to, is because they have no choice. Because of the expenses and the burden that's on these people. The pays are not going up. Opportunities to make money is not increasing, actually it's shrinking because of what's happening when it comes to artificial intelligence. It's actually competing with humans. But this is the era that we're going into. We're going into the golden age. The golden age is basically technology, my friends. And people need to adjust, and they need to adjust very, very fast. Very fast. Because before you know it, people are going to wonder, whoa, they're going to wake up one day and it's like, whoa, why didn't I adjust when I first heard the information to start adjusting myself to what's coming? But by then it's going to be too late. It's really sad, man. It really is, because as I said, I'm not trying to be a negative person. I'm just a pragmatic realist. I see things for whatever they are. I see things for what they are, and I just called it. It could be a little uncomfortable for a lot of people, because a lot of people hate facing reality and hate looking truth in the face. You know, when they tell people, hey, things are going to get worse and things are going to get tough, they don't want to damage that thought of reality that they have, their illusion of reality. They don't want to disturb that. They just want to think everything is fine, I have nothing to worry about, and let me keep living my life the way I want to live my life. But if people don't wake up quick, when things really start happening, it's going to be too late, guys. It is. And come on, I see people do things that they don't need to do. You don't need to change your car every 5-6 years. A car can go a lot longer than that. You don't need to go get yourself in a car note and go trade up that car to another car and put yourself in another car. I mean, why do people do these things? Well, I know why. It's called instant gratification, and this is where people need to let go of that. The people who can't let go of that are going to be in some serious financial trouble. And the only reason why they can't let go of that is because of ego. They can't let go of that ego. But you know what? It's okay. Those people are going to crash. They are. They can't withstand what's ahead. It's impossible. I'm looking at what's going on right now with silver, and to see how silver is getting out of control. When you see precious metals on the market, on the world stage, getting that crazy when it comes to prices, that just means one thing. The dollar doesn't mean anything anymore. The dollar keep losing value. So when the dollar keep losing value, prices, your living expenses become more expensive. Your bills become more expensive. But you know what? Your paycheck never go up. Your hourly pay never increase. So how are you going to stay afloat? It's not possible. The math ain't adding up. It's not. People need to start seeing it for what it is and start waking up and start making proper decisions when it comes to their money and how they spend their money. You don't need to go to the bar and buy yourself a $5 beer anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. If you want to drink beer, go to the store, buy a 6-pack, spend $7. I don't drink, so I really don't care for that. I'm just giving you guys, certain suggestion, because what I'm trying to say is that lifestyle, guys, you got to change. People got to change their lifestyle, and they got to change their lifestyle fast. Because there's no middle class anymore. It's either you're rich or you're poor. Middle class is gone. It's gone. And it's not just here in America. It's everywhere on the planet. You find this in Mexico. You're going to find this in Brazil. You're going to find this in China. You're going to find this in Russia. You're going to find this in England. You're going to find this in Poland. You're going to find this in Canada. You're going to find this everywhere you go. There's a large space between the poor and the rich now. Middle class, I really do believe since the moment they started Rona, it completely abolished the middle class. It really did. There's just some people with a little bit more than others, but we're all struggling at the bottom. We all are we're all in the same boat. But I do believe the people that's actually going to really survive this again are going to be the ones that were debt free. Listen to me carefully. A debt free life is the best life moving forward. Listen to my words carefully. A debt free life is the best life because you're not living on borrowed money. Because when you're living on debt, the creditor can call on full payment whenever they want. And if you can't fork it over, that asset, that car you're driving, they're going to take it. The house you live in, they're going to take it. You guys didn't know that. I hope you know that. Whenever you take out a debt, a loan, to buy a house or buy a car, the creditor, which is the bank who gave you that loan, can call on full payment whenever they want. They can. And people need to know this. You don't believe me, do your research and you see that what I'm saying is true. But I do believe what I see coming in the near future, the average American is not ready for it. And I'm just trying to wake you guys up. Start making proper decisions on how you guys are spending your money. Start creating things of value that solve people's problem. Start creating service of value that help people. Fall in love with being of service to people. People that actually can do that are going to be the one that's going to make it. Because in every hardship, what I've known, all my research and all the books I've read, in every hardship, there's always a small group of people that are always coming out on top. And it's always the creators. It's always the ones. These people, they are of service to people. And they love being of service to people. And chances are people like that, they're not egotistical. So when you're not egotistical, you don't get yourself drowned in debt. You don't need to be driving the nicest car and get the biggest car loan. You don't need to do that. You don't need to have the biggest mortgage and living in the biggest house, unnecessary space, killing yourself trying to pay the mortgage and you can't even afford it anymore. All that is ego. It really is at the end of the day. But you know who is the real wealthy person? There's only 2% of these people. They own everything. They don't have a mortgage. You don't have a car payment. These people are wealthy. It doesn't matter where you live or how big your house is. If you're debt free and you own your stuff, you're a wealthy person. You could have a trailer park. You could live in a mobile home sitting on a couple acres of property. You're a wealthy person. You know why? Because you're solvent. You got no debt. Compared to somebody living in a big house paying a $6,000-$7,000 mortgage. The really rich person is the person in the mobile home, in that debt-free home. The really wealthy person is the person driving that Toyota Corolla or that Honda that is paid for. Still in good condition, but it's paid for. They owned it. They got the deed to that car, the title to that car. The person driving the Mercedes and the BMW paying that car note, they're the broke ones. Because they have liability. They have what is called future promise to pay. They got to pay that bill every month. Tell them to miss 3 payments and see what happens. Miss 3 mortgage payments. Miss 3 car payments. See how much you owned it. You'll see how fast you don't own it. It is what it is. I'm just here to be as honest and as straightforward with you guys as possible. And I hope this information helps somebody. Something is about to unfold that people are not ready for. And there's a huge financial crisis coming. And it's going to hit everybody on this planet. Food is out of control and it's going to get even more expensive. Utilities are out of control. It's going to get more expensive. The price of cars, the price of clothes, the price of necessities are out of control. and it's going to get more expensive. Even coffee right now. Holy moly. I don't even drink coffee, but I'm looking at these things. I was like, are you kidding me? Coffee's went up like over 50% increase in price. This is nuts. But anyway, guys, thank you again. But this, once again, today's date is January 13th, 2026, and I hope someone enjoyed this episode. I really do appreciate you guys always watching my video, and I take a lot of pride sharing this information with you guys. And once again, it's to make you guys aware. It's to make you guys aware. It's not trying to spread fear, nothing like that. Because I always think that once you guys are aware and know what's going on, you won half the battle. Then you could adjust and go with the flow and make smart decisions. Stay blessed. Ciao.